Hello, and welcome. This week I'm going to be covering off some of the changes that I've made to random question generation. You may remember from my last video that was what I was talking about implementing in some form. So I've done it. So far there's only one type of quest giver, there's only one type of quest available. I keep saying quest and I really want to steer away from that. It's more fantasy than sci-fi. Stick with the word mission. The missions that are available by the mission giver are randomly generated at the moment, and what I'll do is probably easier if I just go to one of these planets to show you what that looks like in practice. So just to start off, before we get to a planet, I can show you. You may have noticed that the GUI in the bottom right has changed a little bit to include a little extra space for buttons. These buttons are going to be generated by whatever it is you're doing at the time. So if you're tabbing through things, then there's no need for a button there. However, we now have our mission log. So currently we have no missions, so we can't cycle through those, we can't abandon them, or we can't track them. However, these buttons will be discussing in a little bit more detail once we actually have a mission, so I can show you that. So let's fly to the nearest planet, land, come and speak to our quest giver. So basically what this does, this will take, in fact it might be easier, would it be easier? Ah, bollocks to it. Doc mission. So when he spawns, he will create a small grid of available missions, set them to not have been accepted yet. Each mission giver will actually be a little bit stingy or a little bit well rewarding. So you've got credits per parsec there, so they'll reward you differently based on whatever time of day or whatever that you're speaking to them. That's just random every time you speak to them now. And from there it will look in the list of planets that we've got stored, as you saw with that huge list. It'll look there and it'll say, okay, find me one that we're not currently at, find me one that is inhabited, and find me one that we haven't already got a mission for. And it will then add all the information about that planet, such as the current X and Y values, as in the galaxy world. It will then give you a reward, which is based on the distance between the current position you are in the galaxy and the position of the destination, times however greedy or generous the mission giver is feeling. And it will then give you a random name for that passenger, and it will just add those together, stick it all in this list of available ones, and then it will spawn those missions available once you click on the dude. So I'll just show you what that looks like now. Boop. So we've got here 3 missions to 3 different planets that are not the planet we're currently on, each one with a randomly generated passenger name, and each one of those is awarding a payment on completion equal to the distance between your current position relative in the galaxy to the position relative of the destination planet. And if that's as much as a mouthful it is to say, it took about 4 billion times long to try and come up with this. I actually had to go out to the shop and buy a new whiteboard, because my old whiteboard was too small to put these concepts down to pen, and I needed to get it straight in my head. So once you click on the guy, and then quests come up, click on the guy, the quests go away. If you accept one of these quests and you click on him again, then it will sort those by that. So it will, and then it will leave that there, and then it will, so that way it will collapse them down to the smallest space. It's not, you've got one over here, one over here. If you select the one in the middle, and then once you've selected all the missions and you click on them again, then it'll come out as a series of dialogue, which I just put in because I thought it was more humorous. Woo, yeah, click in. Anyway, so basically what he's telling us is we've got no more missions available to us here, so let's leave. Let's fly back out into space. So, didn't really look over those quests there, did we? So what we'll do is we'll just, I really want to carry on flying around this this star, because I really love the purple shade of the clouds that we've got going on here. So I'll bring up the mission log now. Woo! Now we have a mission. So when you click on those mission buttons, that transfers all of the information that it had about the quest that it was related to a persistent object called your mission log, and that will hold all of your missions regardless of the type of mission, and it will have a series of descriptors and things which will be checked for. So for example, as you can see on here, it's got destination, reward, passenger. That was all the information we were given. However, there's more information under the surface written to the grid of quest information? Mission information. Keep saying quest, god damn it. So yeah, that holds all that, and then there's a load of other columns such as difficulty, danger level, persistent threat, and things like that. Because maybe some of these passengers are, as I said in the previous video, maybe some of these passengers are famous. So you might have somebody wanting to kidnap them. So then, when you're transporting them, there's like a random chance that you're going to get extortionists or pirates or something attacking your ship. And that will be handled under the hood, and you won't really see that, except you'll have a little flag when you take the mission. It's like, oh, this one might be a little bit dodgy, and stuff like that. And then for the pirate missions, the difficulty will influence how many pirates you've been sent out to hunt. Sorry, not the pirate missions, the bounty hunting missions. They don't have to necessarily be pirates. They will be pilots because they'll be flying spaceships, but they won't be pirates necessarily. So yeah, so let's have a look at some of these buttons on the tracker then. So first of all, I say now, this has all been implemented in the one thing. We can cycle through our current missions. So we picked up 3 quests from that planet, and we can cycle through all 3 of these here, and that'll give us all of the information on there. But say we don't, we go, do you know what? That one that was 40,000 credits, probably a little bit far away. Let's abandon that one. So now it's replaced it. So now we've got these 2. Those are the only 2 quests that we have. All of the information is still the same, except now that one that we've abandoned has been abandoned successfully. I'm going to put in something on here to be sort of like a, are you sure? Because I feel like that was very, very easy to just go, oh yeah, don't want to do that now, bye! And then abandon it. And now we've only got this quest. And you'll notice that you're not going, I know it's not much of an achievement when it works, but for God's sake, but having it not go above or below the boundary of the current mission log, and you being able to go down to 0 on the mission log and abandon all of them, for me personally feels like quite the achievement, because there's it's a pretty complicated system, and I feel sort of a little bit proud that I managed to get this implemented in such a way that it looks good and it works and it feels nice to use. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to have to show you the mission tracky loggy thing. So I'm just going to come here. Oh, we've got 2 to the same place. That shouldn't happen. Oh yeah, no, yeah, I understand that. Oh well, that was a little bug, but it doesn't really matter. That just means that we're going to have a series in our thing of however many times I click that one. So probably about 5 of the same mission are going to be in here. That's a little bug, otherwise you should be... Whoop. No, I only clicked it a few times. What we can abandon. Then we've got these 2. Oh, 3. Yeah, we've just got these 2 now. So to Scorpii 2, and we're transporting Ursula Bester. And that'll be 38,000 credits. Well, that's quite a lot. Or we can transfer Ray Banks to Nassac 3. The only problem is I'm not sure if you've gathered from watching these videos, but this galaxy is pretty big. And due to the way that you can only have a distance tracker 4 numbers long, because I couldn't be asked making the GUI any bigger. So you're only really tracking things in your vicinity here. The nearest any stars within 10,000 pixels of you. This one's 32, so, well, it's more than 32, so how are we going to find it? Well, now that you've asked, I can show you this button. We do track, we get a special one on here that's blue, and that will point in the direction. It won't tell you how far, because obviously, well, it could do, but I'm not going to. And that will track in exactly the same way as these. Obviously, it moves a lot slower around it because of the distances involved. The ones that are very close are whizzing by. But as you can see, that's moving around ever so slightly. And I'm actually not flying towards it though, so let's see if we can... That's going to take forever, so I'm not going to bother. Just trust me. And then we can untrack that one. If we're tracking it and we abandon it, we stop tracking it and we can track the new one, which is also in that direction, which is handy. That would have been really good to actually do those two quests. And then when you get to the planet, it then goes, is the planet we're on in our mission log anywhere? And if he goes yes, it goes, great, what kind of mission was it that we were supposed to be looking out for? Taxi. Great, well, he's here, so consider that complete, have the reward. And then the reward gets added to your credits. There's no way to see what credits you've got at the moment due to there being no way to spend it. But believe me, it's there. So yeah, you can track things, you can abandon missions, you can cycle through them. You've got this nice little GUI down here. You've got new ways of tracking it. That'll track it inside of the system as well when it's a specific planet. You've got quest generation that's random. The more astute of you will notice that the random name generator was a series of famous sci-fi authors, or non-sci-fi in some cases, just my own personal favourite authors. What else? I've generally tidied it up a little bit behind the scenes. That you're not really to know about that. Yeah, I think that's that about wraps it up. So if you've got any questions with regards to how the quest generation works, or anything to do with this video or any of the previous videos, just leave it below. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it.